Today we're going to practice listening for expression or feeling. Good readers use correct expression or feeling as they read a story aloud. As you read, you should think about how the words should sound. You can emphasize important words and pauses to help the feeling of the story come through. Listen as I read this sentence. Please do not cut me down. Please do not cut me down. How did the words sound different the second time I said them? How did that reading better help you understand what was happening? I'm going to read you a story called The Three Wishes. As I read it aloud, please listen carefully to find out what happens to the woodcutter. Also, think about which words should be emphasized and listen to how I use expression or feeling while I read. The Three Wishes. Long ago, in a forest far away, a woodcutter lived with his wife. Each morning the woodcutter went into the forest to cut wood to sell for money. He did not make a lot of money this way. However, he and his wife were very poor. One day the woodcutter went into the woods to chop down a large oak tree. He hurried eagerly through the forest to get to the tree, as it was very large and would provide a great deal of wood to sell. Soon he reached the tree and prepared to cut it down. As he lifted his axe, however, a family of chipmunks scampered away from the tree in fear. Next, the woodcutter saw a slippery snake slither out of a hole under the tree. Then he spotted a beautiful bird abandoning its nest on a branch above his head. As the animals tried to escape, a deep voice rumbled from inside the tree. "Please do not cut me down," said the voice. "I am an old tree. The forest animals need me. Without me, they will have no home." The woodcutter stood in front of the tree, astonished. "Very well," he said, scratching his head. "Thank you, kind man," said the tree. "To show how grateful I am, I will grant your next 3 wishes." The woodcutter was so shocked that he wandered home without cutting any wood, forgetting what the tree had said. By the time he got home, he was very hungry. He asked his wife if there was any food to eat. "We have nothing but a little porridge, and that won't be ready for hours," she told him. "Oh, how I wish I had a big, fine sausage to eat right now," he said, disappointed. But no sooner had the woodcutter made his wish when a fancy sausage appeared on the table in front of him. "My goodness!" said his wife. "Where did that come from?" Just then the woodcutter remembered the tree's promise and told his wife about the 3 wishes. "You fool!" she cried. "There is no such thing as a talking tree, and now we have no wood to sell. I wish that sausage were stuck on your nose." In the blink of an eye, the sausage stuck to the woodcutter's nose. The woodcutter's wife tried frantically to pull the sausage off her husband's nose, but it did not work. The woodcutter realized what he must do and promptly wished for the sausage to fall off his nose. It did, and it fell right on to the big plate that sat between the woodcutter and his wife. And the two were glad, for although they had not been able to wish for lots of money, or a fine house, or a golden coach to ride in, at least they had a tasty sausage to eat for dinner. I hope you liked that story. Let's talk about it. What is the setting of the story? Think back to the first part that I read. Long ago, in a forest far away. Now, what 3 wishes did the woodcutter and his wife make? First, the woodcutter was so hungry he wished for a sausage. And then His wife wished the sausage would stick to the woodcutter's nose. Finally, the woodcutter used his last wish to wish that the sausage would fall off his nose. What lesson does this story teach? I would say the lesson this story teaches is to be careful what you wish for. You never know when it might come true. As you reread your story for today, make sure that you model fluency. Use expression and feeling in your reading. Think about how the words should sound and emphasize those important words and pauses to help the feeling of the story to come through.